It's been 6 episodes of combat. Will our heroes hold up? Find out this week on The Hapless Heroes.
You're bad, I don't like you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Hapless Heroes podcast. I'm Francesco, and I will be your host and DM as we continue this long combat.
Damn, you said that perfectly, Fran. First try, too.
On the first try, without
That's crazy.
any retakes, because I'm not tired.
What a pro.
Speaking of things that I've forgotten, there's also some effects of combat we need to resolve. But before we do that, I'm going to intro my cast for you. Starting on my left, we have Dave playing Vecna, but good.
We're back, everybody.
Mike as Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind.
Always at my service.
Nicole as Boris the Butcher.
Let's get stabby.
Zach as Peridot Lincolnwoods and occasionally Pregnart.
This is what my voice sounds like.
Unless it sounds like this.
And John as Lord Jarrell the Light and occasionally Dr. Dedu.
If I can't see him, he's dead, right?
Uh-huh. So, yeah, there's a lot of things happening. If you're just dropping in now, go back a couple of episodes. Don't just be dropping into a middle of a combat.
What are you doing?
Are you crazy? You crazy person?
That's
You do you.
This?
You do what you want to do. Don't listen to these folks.
I skip to the end too sometimes.
Every episode is somebody's first, Fran.
Guys, you're N episodes away from the end, and N is a very small number. Give yourself a little bit of runway here, okay?
Yeah, take a running start into this episode.
It's like starting a Marvel movie and like 20 minutes into the end battle.
Right. Speaking of getting a running start, we're gonna before we get back to the top of initiative. Like I do recall, right? You know, we had a whole. With the clip essentially made a suggestion to Larlock because now he's frustrated because he couldn't imprison Vecna, and the suggestion was to annihilate pretty much everything.
Yep.
We'll see if he takes that advice. But before we do that, Jarrell, I forgot to do something. I have an asterisk next to your name on my little initiative tracker here, and I never really got to clear that asterisk. At the start of your turn, I needed you to have made me a wisdom save from the previous turn where you hit Larlock. And something happened to you that we didn't know what it was quite yet, but you know that there is some sort of cursed or something that happened, and that should have started or resolved at the start of your turn. So we're going to do that now.
Which one did I clear?
Just to get it out of the way.
Which one did I cleanse? Did I cleanse
You
my
cleansed
blindness?
the Otto's Irresistible Dance.
Okay.
Lots of effects this combat. Dear
Yeah.
God, I'm so sorry to
I hope
everybody
you're keeping track.
for all the things that I've forgotten about or have to retcon and then start a new episode with, hey, I forgot this thing last time, so we're going to resolve it now. But hey, here we are. It's the benefit of editing these episodes to be like, oh yeah, I said that thing a while back and I never followed up on it. So I'm following up on it. Jarrell,
So what did I have to roll?
please make me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. All right. Crap. I don't have any bardic inspiration or anything like that. I'm trying to remember if I have anything else that'll help me. Is this a spell?
No.
It's a ability again.
Something that happened to you
When I hit.
you made contact with your sword.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna be stuck with it. I think I got a 25.
That is a little bit under what you needed.
I know it is.
So, essentially, at the start of your next turn, you will do nothing, and then you will repeat the save again once we skip your Like once we get back to your next turn, right? Because like it's supposed to
I
start at the
just
start of
kind
your
of
turn. It's essentially you make a
pause?
save to see if whether or not it skips your turn. It would have had to
Oh.
skip. We would have had to skip your turn, but we didn't. So that's cool. But
Okay.
next turn, right?
So this time we just skip my turn.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there any reason for that? Like, what is it? What's doing it?
You're like, you feel your body. It's almost like it's almost like a. It feels like almost like temporary paralysis, but you can like you almost feel. It's more like mental paralysis. Like there's something that's like cursed.
Okay, I have
your-
advantage against being paralyzed, stunned.
It is not it's not paralysis. This is a curse. So if you have
Okay.
anything against curses, as far as like any resistances
Nope,
to those
nope,
things,
that's what I wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay,
This
I
is a
can't,
curse.
I can't be charmed either. So
you are
or
cursed.
Advantage. Okay, I can remove curses.
That's good. Well,
I'll have to wait until
you'll have to wait and see if you
next-
do nothing.
next
Yeah.
turn.
But in the meantime, Larlock, with rage overcoming him, decides, no, annihilation is too boring, you stupid clip, but I think we can work with this. I think I can work with this. And he will look over at Vecna. Now, again, you can hear this conversation happening. So for those of you who are paying attention, right, you'll at least have some general heading of where Larlock is floating in the air.
I don't do
but
that during this podcast, Fran.
attack rolls would be made a disadvantage if you're going to be trying to shoot or do something, in that general whatever, wherever the fuck you think he is. But he's going to look at Vecna, who is blind still, I believe. And you're going to see from just somewhere in the sky a thin green ray spring
Green
from just
ray?
like, yeah,
Thin
just out of
Green
nowhere
Ray.
Finn Green
and
Ray.
fly towards Vecna. Vecna, make me a dex save.
Is this a spell or anything?
Yeah,
a spell.
let's see. A
Does he
4 on
get
the die.
advantage for any
No amount of
reason?
modifiers. They're gonna pass that.
It is a spell, but Vecna's
You
far
get- you
away
get-
from you and invisible.
Yes,
Uh,
and also
but
I rolled a
I'm-
4 on the die, and since I don't have anything that's giving me plus 22,
Right.
Vecna's that far away from me. I thought I was kind of in the middle of everybody.
You're in the air still?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, or you flew down to heal somebody or
I think
yourself.
you did let me go to the ground.
Yeah, but Vecna teleported himself far away from you. You have no idea where he is. So you wouldn't even be able to, like, this. I mean, like, he wouldn't be, I don't think he's in your aura, because remember, Dave, you had Dread teleported or something like that, did one of those things, like 30
yeah,
feet
the
to
usual thing
north.
that teleports me and gets me some
Away from
HP,
stuff.
and yeah.
Yeah, I need you to take some damage.
All right.
And you can hear with the incantation, Vecna, because you know so much about magic, that he cast Disintegrate. Please, please, please. Deal lots of damage.
Hey.
Please, please, please.
I'm going to respectively root against that.
Mike, does your Iron Stone only protect you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried that last time,
How
where I
does
tried
that
to
work?
absorb spells that,
Just
as
curious.
long as the spell is directed at me and,
It absorbs it.
and only me, it absorbs the spell count. So if it's a 7th level spell, then it absorbs 7 levels of spell.
And it has
Um,
50, and it can absorb up to 50 levels of spells.
Right.
Okay. It's respectable, I'd say. 75 force damage?
Oh boy, all right. Yeah, if I hadn't been topping myself up, I'd be in a lot of trouble. But Vecna's still feeling that one.
Okay. On a
It took
scale
me
of
from
on a random arbitrary number scale, how would you say you're feeling right now?
on an arbitrary scale of numbers, yeah, I'd give it about a 70.
A 70. Can I do this again? Okay, you're not disintegrated.
No, he's only mostly disintegrated, which means partially not.
It just hurt a lot.
Oh yeah.
And then what else is he gonna do since he's still greatly invisible? He's gonna just fly. He's gonna fly gonna fly somewhere. No one can see where he was flying.
Cool.
Boris might be able to potentially try to suss out where the clip is in the sky, but it's going to require an eagle eye from where you are right now. So that's going to be it for now. We are going to move on to Boris. What would you like to do?
For Clippy. Boris wants to look for Clippy in the sky. That's going to be the first, Can she suss out where?
Your passive perception is not giving you much, because you're still flying, right? You're essentially floating around with your cloak of the bat.
Yes.
Correct. You haven't landed or anything like that still.
My last notes have me still in the air, but also still within
Jarell's aura.
The safety bubble. Yeah, is how I have it written.
Jarell is just essentially Jarell is where Larlock's feet were when he first went straight up, and you are essentially where his head level was. So you guys are about 15 feet apart from each other in midair.
Okay.
Let's see. Would you be able to? I mean, it's a tiny paper. It's not. Well, it's not tiny.
My passive
anymore.
perception is 25. So.
Gosh, I'm just trying to think. Like, against the backdrop of the sky, I feel personally like you would need to make an active perception check if you really wanted to suss out.
The most I feel like I would have seen is like if I saw like a glint of what direction the paper.
The last place you looked, right? The last place you thought you saw it, right? It's not there anymore. Like it's moved from whatever spot you had sort of like seen or like fixated on the corner of your eye, right? That little glint or whatever that it may have shown to when you notice it the first time. It's not there anymore. So if you wanted to if you wanted to use your action to make a perception check, then I could definitely would be able to tell you more. But I think just because of how difficult, I mean, it's not so much a needle in a haystack but a paperclip in the sky, and I feel like that's a similar thing to be hard to see without really looking hard. I feel like that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I have two different directions I can go with my turn, one of which is, trying to heal Vecna, and the other of which is trying to find a paperclip in the sky. And knowing Boris, she's going to try to find a paperclip in the sky.
If you recall last time, Dave, for flavor, said that healing damaged Vecna.
Oh, yeah. I didn't recall that, actually, but...
I thought it was just holy damage.
Yeah, I mean, I guess holy healing. I'm not sure if I think a healing potion might just work the same way. I don't know. But we'll I guess cross that bridge when we get there, because again, you can't see Vecna. Vecna is also invisible and far away from you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to find a paperclip in the sky. That's what Boris is doing. For flavor, she pulls out a god monocle from heaven, from the pocket full of monocles, and uses that to kind of scan the sky.
Something interesting happens when you put that on.
Ooh.
Very funny that you mentioned that, because no one, we only really use those to focus certain, energies or whatever, right? To essentially make portals appear. Mm-hmm. We never really thought, what do these monocles actually do, or what other properties do they potentially have, right? They're not just focusing crystals, right? You can look through them. We called them monocles. When you look out into the sky now with one of these on, you can see an aura kind of floating around, where it's almost like vaguely humanoid shaped, sort of like the outline of Larlock. It's hazy, it's fuzzy, but you can actually make out, you almost have partial true sight while wearing one of these.
Cool.
Again, it's hazy, it's fuzzy, it's not it's not like a clear picture, right? It's almost it's like, when you look through say like a thermal lens or something like that, right? You get it's very blobby. It's not like a clear outline. It's very more amorphous, right? Because you're just getting the general shape or of what's happening. That's
it's
what
still
it looks
very
like
helpful.
Mm-hmm. But effectively, like while it gives you that picture, right? You only have one good eye, right? The other eye is really only seeing this like blurred, sort of, like, like things. So like I don't know what that looks like when if you'd have like essentially one eye seeing something different than the other, but.
If you put it in the correct eye, whichever eye that is for you, you will see one's the same and one moves over just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it. I mean, at this point, you're so good at perceiving things. I'm not sure if it's going to really impose much of a disadvantage on you, but like, it's a bit awkward. I feel like, what I mean? You kind of like closing one eye, trying to close.
Like switching back and forth almost to see actual, and then keeping both open.
Because obviously the other eye sees nothing. But yeah, you have a general idea now of like where Larlock is. He's flown about 30 feet due north. Has not changed elevation.
Oh, so he's only 30 feet away from me.
Yes.
But I've already used my action here.
Yeah, equipping an item, I guess. Yeah, I mean that's like you've put a monocle on and like surveyed the area.
Yeah, that would count as my main action. As a, I guess, bonus action, can I toss a second monocle down, like directly beneath me to Jarrell?
Yeah, he'll have to try to catch it.
Yeah.
I can't do anything.
Oh yeah, right. You're like incapable of moving.
Well, he can.
Like,
he's just.
Well, he just has
to, he has to spend his next turn doing nothing. That's really
okay.
it. So he can do something now. It's just, again, I had to retcon an effect that we should have tried to resolve at the start of his last turn. So like it's a little messed up, but like he could try. I would allow him the catch attempt. It's just that, again, we skip his next turn. That's it.
I was gonna say I could reflavor this and I could just fly down and stick one on Jarrell's face. I still have my move action.
You still have your movement, so you could.
Easier.
Yeah.
I'd allow that.
So Boris is gonna fly down as soon as she realizes that
you see like a dumbfounded look
see.
on. Yeah, and you see like a dumbfounded look on Jarrell's face, like his eyes have glazed over.
And
makes it very easy to put the monocle on because his
stick it
face
over
is,
one
like,
of his
not
glazed
moving.
over eyes.
Yeah, because your helmet is open faced. It doesn't like come down, right? So you can just stick it right on your face. All right, yeah.
I use a little bit of a bubblegum cigar, actually. I like use a piece of gum to stick it so the monocle's literally stuck to his face and he doesn't need to be holding it.
Oh my god. That's disgusting. And I love that for you. All right, sounds good. Anything else on your turn?
No, I'm just gonna hang out with Jarrell.
Sounds good. Love that for you. At the end of your turn, Boris, Larlock would love to use one of his legendary actions to cast a spell. And he will attempt to disintegrate Vecna once more. Vecna, please make me a dexterity saving throw.
Why bother? But yeah, that's even worse. So there you go.
Please, 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 dice, please.
No. No, thank you.
Okay, I've had enough of this dread counter spell. It's time to obliterate.
Hey, thank you, Dread Counterspell.
Oh, I forgot about
You can't see me.
He can
Yeah,
see.
you're right, I can't.
He can. I thought
He's blind.
Could. Oh, he's blind.
Yeah. You're right.
That was part of the reason. No, this is not going to do it. I don't think.
Yeah.
Fuck. Math. Fuck.
It's for the best. I'd at least like to get some one-liners in here, dude.
Well, we can start the one-liner battle now, but no, it's not going to be enough damage anyways. 58 force damage.
Oh my god.
Sadness, and he will say, "Back to dust with you."
That's it. That's it right there, just like old times. Before the godhood set in.
And yes, I know how this works, old man, but
I didn't say that, though! On second thought, this is exactly how this works. You kill me, they kill you, we both come back in a couple 100 years and do it over again.
Or I just kill you and have the next 100 years to have all the fun I want.
I mean, you could.
You've just been in the way for so long with your whole quest of evil.
Yeah, but now I don't. And that's the best part, is since I'm the opposite of you, I don't have to put all of my attention into something really huge like that. I get to focus it all on you. You blow me up. Put me somewhere where you can't see me for a couple 100 years, you dumb bitch. We'll do it all over again.
We're going to take a brief pause in this banter here. I will actually allow a free check here. For anyone who is magically inclined, or who just feels like they want to give it a shot, you can make me some Arcana checks to kind of suss out what the hell they're talking about. Oh, you know, I'll even accept religion, because I guarantee they probably talk about this too.
23.
Okay.
7.
Oh my god, Boris rolled something that's not, like, amazing.
I'm not proficient, so I don't get my base 10 in
God.
this.
It's okay.
Peridot-
It's the small victories, you know. Go ahead, Peridot.
Peridot got a 19.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I can do to change the outcome of this.
Because you don't want Quinn to be the only person who knows?
Right. How does the bard know more about magic than anybody
you don't
else?
want to, no, because we've all learned that when Quinn is the only person who knows something, he will do everything in his power to make sure that everyone knows that he is the only one who knows something.
Jarrell got an 8.
Okay, so Quinn,
Sure.
as a tail spinner yourself, you've gone many places to get source material for some of the stories you tell, right?
Mhm.
And your encounters with the undead, you've done some reading on that, because in order to tell a good story, you got to know where you're able to embellish and what's going to immediately be sussed out as something that's too far-fetched, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So you know a thing or two about liches,
Okay.
okay? So liches be crazy. They have something called a phylactery, typically, that they are bound to. So if you kill a lich,
I have an olfactory too.
phylactery.
Oh.
This phylactery is usually it's typically usually like a vial of it's like of something, of like their essence. It's like their blood or something like that. Like that was from when they were mortal, right before they turned themselves into a lich. Like this is essentially what gives them immortality. So long as that phylactery exists and is hidden away somewhere, a couple 100 years is nothing to someone who can live forever. They'll just regenerate and show up again, back in their lair, wherever that phylactery is. So, after you're thinking about it, and you're like, wait a second. So, if either Vecna or Larlock dies, cool, we solved the problem for a little while, but in a few hundred years, or whatever, they'll be back.
Sure, but we won't be alive.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone here that's going to be around in the next 300 years, huh?
Thanks, Dave. I took a contemporary view of that, of like, well, you know what? Okay,
someone else's problem,
Someone polluting the earth. We're not going to be alive when it destroys the earth.
Fuck
it's
it,
fine.
300 years from now, it's their problem, right? That's their
As
problem.
long as we deal with it now, we're fine.
Jarrell might still be around.
Okay,
I feel like
That's a Jarrell problem.
Peridot might
Although I am a god, so maybe I'll be alive too, I guess.
son of a gun.
Son of a god.
And who knows anything about Pregnart? I feel like Pregnart will be alive in 300 years.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe.
He'll be the Hypnotoad.
Technically, Zero will be because he doesn't age.
But Zero's not here.
No, he's not. But
Okay, all right, so we'll all still be alive. Whatever, fine.
But will
She's gonna
you
be
have
lucky if she
darkness?
makes it to adulthood, so there is that.
but so that's what you know, Quinn. I guess I'm just going to ask the question. Do you want to just assume that now you are sharing this information with the group, or do you want to share it in your own way?
Well, I'm on the ethereal plane, so I can't
That's
really share it with
true.
anybody right now.
Okay, perfect.
I can hear them, but they can't hear me.
Perfect. I love that so much.
So I'm not making the choice to not tell them. I literally can't tell
Everybody
them right
else,
now.
carry on as you were carrying on. And speaking of which, we will then carry on right over to the combined turn of Dudu and Pregnart, who are hiding behind a pillar, right? That where Jarrell, I guess, you're kind of hovering above that.
Yeah.
But you guys are kind of like closer to ground level, right? Because you were just trying to hide from all the shit that was going on. You were trying to keep Pregnart out of harm's way because he's weak.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys doing this turn on your combined turn?
Can I? Well, I guess it Pregnant. Should I keep throwing little things at it, or bigger things, or what do you think?
Throw the big things, please.
And again, you can't see the thing to throw it at. You're hearing this conversation. Like you can, again, if it requires an attack roll, you can try it at disadvantage, but you can't actually see where either Vecna or Larlog are.
But I can hear where their
I
voices
feel
are
very
coming from.
weak. I don't know what we should do. I'm very
Right.
confused.
If I can hear where their voices are coming from, I can guess the 40 feet that they're in.
Okay, if someone was hovering about 30 feet in the air and you couldn't see them, but they were just like shouting, right?
Mhm.
Do you think you'd be able to accurately like point yourself to about general
I'm
heading? I'd say
I'm not.
maybe.
Yeah, general heading within
Maybe.
40 feet.
Maybe.
General 40 feet.
Maybe. But if you're gonna like, what effect are you trying to create? Because maybe we can try to
Still
figure this
trying to
out.
do meteor swarm.
Okay,
It
I
sounds
mean,
like if someone's shouting out of a window, can you identify the right building?
you would like to do meteor swarm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can. The thing is, because you don't know where this 40-foot area is, essentially, like, you're just, where are you placing it?
I guess then first I would have to try to do a perception check. They might move.
Okay, your perception check is going to tell you what? Where invisible people are? No,
But
right?
they're yelling at each other.
They're yelling at each other. You can, like I said, you
All
have
I'm
a
trying to do
general.
is listen.
Okay,
I've got a
If you're-
question.
if you're going to make the check, then that's your action.
I've got a
Right.
question.
What's up?
Can I attach Curse of the Sea to message?
What? No, message is a spell, and you use an action to cast a spell, and then curse.
Right.
Of the sea.
Curse
I mean,
of the
if
Sea.
you could make one of
is
those a
you-
bonus action, and maybe we can talk about it.
Curse of the Sea is I can curse a target that I hit with a cantrip.
Oh, that's really interesting. So you try to send like a message to.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that because I feel like that's very much in the spirit of like message is a cantrip,
It is.
and
So
you
it doesn't
could
harm me.
choose. Right, you could choose to do that, but again, you don't know where. You can't target something you can't see.
But I know where his voice is coming from, and so I think that
Generally
would
speaking,
make
coming
it easier to
somewhere-
message him.
above you. It's somewhere from above you. But I mean, okay, right? Message requires you to actually have a target to be able to like see that target and then, send them a message to their brain.
Let me see if
right?
I have to see. Actually, I might have to see a target for message.
Yes, I believe you do. I will double check. And I think messages also requires it's just you point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message.
Oh shit! Yeah, I know
The
where they are
target-
directionally.
The target is it just says the target and only the target can hear the message, but you have to
Yeah,
have to be able to target it. You have
yeah.
nothing
Towards.
to target. You point towards, but like if you're not pointing directly at them,
No,
Right?
it doesn't say directly at. It says towards.
You can't see where you're pointing. You're just pointing to a random spot in the sky and being like, "Nah, I think that's where Larlock is, maybe."
No, but what you were just
see on
saying,
the other
you
side of
just
the
said that
wall?
if you can
You
hear a
point your
person
finger
shouting,
toward a
you know
creature
about where
within
they are.
range. You point your finger toward a creature within range, right? The
Yeah,
target
but you just said
is a
you
creature.
just said if you hear them shouting, then you
have
know
a general
about where they are.
you have a general idea of where they are. So if something
That's
is
what the word toward means, Fran.
I understand.
He is
right? But
lawyering that one.
when you look at when the target of a spell is a creature, you need to be able to target that creature by seeing them.
No, you just need to know where you can point in order to point toward them. Yeah. So in message, usually if you have to see them, the spell will say point to a creature that you can see. But this spell does not say that you have to see them. You just have to point toward them.
That's true. I
And
mean,
Fran, you have already established, Fran.
Spells do say and do specify
Specifically.
whether you can see. And the more, and I'm looking at, I wanted to look this up to just see if this discussion has already happened at some point to make sure
I'm
that,
sure it
right?
has.
And it has. And ultimately the answer is it's up to the DM.
And Fran, you have already established in the previous turn that since everybody can hear these two people shouting and screaming at one another, that we know the general
direction.
Right. And
Yeah,
how far
fine. Fuck
how
it.
far away
Yep.
are to do and pregnant?
You've rose lawyered your way towards this. You are well within the 120 feet you would need to point at a whatever.
All right.
Fine. Point towards where you hear the shouting. Are you pointing
Give it
towards
something.
Pregnard
Larlock's
points.
area? Okay.
Yeah. Pregnard points toward
Uh-huh.
the creature of Larlock within range, and he whispers,
You're bad. I don't like you.
and he also attaches to that Curse of the Sea, which damn it, I don't think this applies at all. Hang on.
Okay. And
Yeah.
we should
So I just told
Also,
Larlock
we-
that I don't like. He's
we
bad
also
and I
need
don't
to
like him.
we also need to clarify too, right? The Curse of the Sea is when you hit a creature with the cantrip's attack, or when a creature fails a saving throw against your cantrip. So
Oh, okay.
Well, fuck me for not reading. I just wasted our turn. Sorry.
Didu can still move,
yeah,
and he's going to
I love
temporarily move away from Pregnart, and you see him fly to Boris, and he says to Boris, "Do you have 2,000 coins on you, gold coins?"
I guarantee Boris probably has some I'm pretty sure she has the piles of gold that she just stole out of Dr. Heinz's office in Uhl in the past.
Yep.
Or the gold
I don't
bars.
think I did that on the last run.
Oh shit.
I don't have noted that I have all of the money
That's
stolen
true.
from the office.
So
from
you
that
didn't
run.
steal it again at the last
I-
reset. Oh, that's
I
too bad.
didn't steal it again, though my pockets. Where does it tell me how much money I have? I don't have 2,000 gold coins unless somewhere in my inventory. Let's see here.
I'm really curious where you're going with
Oh
this.
no, yes I did. It is in my notes. A lot of old coins and jewels from Dr. Hines' office.
Okay.
All it says is a lot. It does not specifically indicate.
Yeah, there's probably about two. There's definitely at least 2,000. Why? Okay.
What does a Baroness think is a lot?
Right. Well, Boris,
Didu's asking for
how do
2,000
you respond? I mean, well, you can respond. You can't give it to him right now, but can
Yeah, I
you
was gonna say I
respond?
can't actually give him anything, right? As a response to this.
You know, fuck it. You could use your reaction to give him the money.
I already used
I
my
wanna
bonus
s- I-
action.
You can
to
use your
put
reaction to give it to him because I want to know where he's going with this, and so I just want you to give him the money.
It would be hilarious though.
Yeah, okay.
Charging a fiddler for that would be embezzlement.
Boris pulls I mean, I literally swept this money into my pockets, though, right? It's not in a bag. I have like loose coins in my pockets,
And you're flying, which is even
and
better.
I'm flying.
So you're just gonna dump out all these coins to the ground.
Or into the dude's sausage satchel.
Okay, you know what? How about this for an aerial maneuver? All right. Both of you make sleight of hand checks.
You do get a
What?
9.
28.
Okay.
28 and a 9.
You attempt this purse-to-purse maneuver. But there are far more coins than there is room in the sausage sack. So you have no idea how many coins actually made it into this.
Or how
But many,
dumped out of
many
my
more.
pocket.
But many, many more rain to the ground. I need Quinn. Nope, not Quinn. Here on the ethereal plane. Paradil, make me a dex save.
From dropping pennies from heaven.
I
To see
should
if he gets
also note
planked
that I
with some
have.
coins that are falling down.
I had 9 muffins in the same pocket, as well as a couple of magic wands and some jewelry.
Fantastic. Those things all, I guess, spill out as well.
If I'm just shaking the pocket out, yeah.
Yes.
Making it hail over there.
Did you say a dex check?
Dex save.
A dex save?
As coins rain down from above you.
Do I have advantage on this at all? Damn it.
I don't know. I mean, it's coins, man. I'm not just.
All right.
And muffins.
I have an 8.
Okay. You get pelted with a few of these coins as they're falling down. You take 2 damage.
Fine. I'm just still sour because I did not read Curse of the Sea before I tried to cast it.
And you're in Paradil. You're feeling annoyed because you're like, why are there coins raining from the sky, and like plinking you, very hard. You're trying to get out of the way of the falling like stuff, just stuff.
Yeah, I'm pissed off.
Okay, that's it. That sounds like a lot of things that happen on that combined turn. So we're just gonna move on to Quinn.
Okay, so I'm gonna reappear near Boris. I hope this makes sense. I'm going to cast Enhance Ability.
Wait, you're gonna
on
reappear near Boris in the air?
Yeah, couldn't I?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could.
And I just blink again and hopefully succeed.
Yeah, and hopefully succeed, or you're falling. Okay, I like all these all. I love the all in plays
I'm doing
here.
it.
So sure, let's go.
I'm gonna touch Boris and cast Enhance Ability, Owl's Wisdom. Hopefully that will enhance her perception in some fashion. So I will cast that on Boris, and then I'm totally nightcrawling this bullshit, so I'm gonna blink and
I love
try to go back to the ethereal
Nightcrawler in this
plane.
bullshit. All
Like,
right,
you can't get me, but I'm gonna help everybody else.
It's got to give you the bam
Oh, shit.
as you.
Yeah, that's one
Teleport
bamf
away.
right there.
Yeah, like, poof, poof. Oh no! Uno momento, por favor.
What just happened?
not a good roll, I'm assuming.
So,
So-
I'm going to cast Lucky Feet, or I'm going to use my Lucky Feet, which surprisingly I haven't used this entire.
Boris, you have advantage on wisdom checks. Essentially, is what that gives you.
No!
Advantage, cool.
I am currently falling.
Okay, I like this, and I like the visual of like Quinn essentially rematerializes from the ethereal plane next to Boris in the air with no means of flying, like no means of anything, right? Just as himself, as his majestic self, casts a spell on you, and then like kind of like almost like snaps his fingers and like is like the magician that like waves the wand or like okay abracadabra like tries to do the trick, and then it doesn't work, and so you see this like this flash of panic on Quinn's eyes.
Can I do a whole like Wile E. Coyote moment where I just like put a sign up that says help?
Yeah, right, because you're right. You're briefly airborne right before you start falling.
I put a bubblegum cigar in his mouth as well when he holds up the
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. This all happens.
To be fair, I can technically cast it again on myself next round before I hit the ground, but we'll see how it all works out.
Phenomenal. At the end of your turn, Quinn,
Yes.
Larlock will use another legendary action.
Oh no.
To hopefully try to do some shit to Vecna, so that he can then turn his attention to everyone else who's not countering all of his spells and healing all of their health back. He's going to look at you, Vecna, who's still blinded, I guess, right? Because we haven't even hit your turn is next. And you would be able to repeat that save just against blindness at the end. But he's going to say, it's time for you to go away for a while. I'm sick of your shit. I'm sick of your endless quest of just wanton evil. And I don't care if you're good now. I don't care. It just makes me hate you more. And I'm going to cast Magic Missile at 7th level.
It sounds like about 10,000 gold coins, 9 muffins, and a half elf falling, and 7 magic missiles flying through the air. This is exactly what strip clubs were like before they invented paper currency.
Oh my. All right, well, let's see.
And I know I was there. And I was evil. So I didn't tip. Not even the bartender.
The worst kind of evil.
33 force damage?
I haven't healed since then, so yes. It does what you're looking to have it do.
Vecna reappears on the ground, battered and unconscious. I guess Vecna, you have to. Do we make you make death saves? I don't really know. As a.
Do undead make death saves?
Right. I don't know. Or do you just go fuck off back into your phylactery for a century?
Well, all right. Let's see.
Because like
I feel
we're in uncharted.
Doing.
Yeah, we're in uncharted. Well, because like, if he's about to just go fuck off back to his phylactery, it's time for a monologue, right? Before any of that happens.
What constitutes slain for a player character?
Failing 3
Because he is a
death
player
saves.
character now.
Failing 3 death saves.
If,
So we gotta do it.
because it
We gotta
says
do it.
undying. If
Yeah.
Vecna is slain, his soul refuses to accept its fate.
You
It
gotta just
already
call him.
refuses to accept
It
its
is refusing
fate,
to
but
accept
it
its fate, so you're making death saves. That makes sense to me.
Yes.
And
You
I
You
like
just
that's
have
where
to
we
call
start.
them. You just have to call them undeath saves.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Just change the name.
God.
Undeath.
All right. So
I'm
do I
into it.
have to roll under a 10 then?
No. Yes.
That would be kind of funny.
All right.
The fails
So-
the fails are good. The successes are bad. So
That
you have
sounds
you have
awesome. I
less
love
of it. You have that slightly less of a chance to succeed now, right? Because
Yes.
it's 10 or better. So in this case, it's 9 or worse. You don't have to make it now. You make it on your
All right.
turn, but I guess it is your
Yes.
turn now. So what do we got?
Well, let's hope there are cashless strip clubs in the future. 5.
5. Okay, that's I guess 1 in the failed / success column. Like this is good for you. Also, I'm going to say that then a nat 1 would stand you up with 1 hit point, whereas a nat 20 would give you 2 successes, which are the
It
bad
is.
things.
Yes, it is the most hapless heroes thing possible, so it's exactly what we're going to do.
Okay, I love this. I love this. You are making undeath saves, and you succeeded on 1. Good job, Vecna.
He's just making really quiet Nicolas Cage vocalizations.
That's what the subtitles say on the screen. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, sounds good. And then Larlock will comment. Now to finally deal with the rest of you idiots. And it's gonna be your turn, Paradel.
How far away is Paradil from where I can guess Larlock is toward? English words?
Roughly 30 to 40 feet north and somewhere in the air, approximately 30 to 40 feet in the air.
Okay. I feel like I already have tried this, and you have allowed it. I'm
Which
going
is?
to again try to fire my heavy crossbow.
Yes, you are perfect.
At disadvantage.
Like I said, you can perfectly do that at disadvantage.
Okay,
That is totally fine.
And I'm going to continue moving, so I maintain.
And you had blessed your bolts with the holy water as well, if I recall correctly.
Oh yeah, I did. And I was maintaining motion so that I
Yeah, so you.
what is
like
it called? So I
yeah,
can maintain evasive footwork.
Yeah, that extra
feet.
AC you have, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. Let me look at. I think that's just. Yeah, I think that's just a 16.
Unfortunately, the bolt just sails into the air and keeps going.
Dang it. That was disadvantageous.
You missed.
Yeah, and I think my action surge, I think, is just for melee stuff, right?
Well, it's to take an extra action, but unless you have Crossbow Master, you have to now
Right.
spend the rest of your turn, reloading that thing.
Then, let's see. Is Indomitable a bonus action? Oh, wait, no, that's not what I meant. Oh, Second Wind is what I mean to use.
I believe that's a bonus action
Yes. Okay, I'm going to roll for Second Wind.
to regain some HP.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Damn it. So I get 21 back, because that is a D10 that I rolled a 1 on.
And then
Plus
your
my
level.
fighter level.
Oh no! Hey, it's
Still 21.
21 guaranteed, and it can only be better. But
All right, I think that's my turn. And yeah, I guess I'm just running around aimlessly to maintain motion.
that sounds good. At the end of your turn, I'm going to use my last legendary action to cast another spell. This time, it would be a cone that's going to be pointed down towards all y'all to try to encompass the folks in the air and on the ground. It's a 60-foot cone, right? So I think I should be able to 30 feet in the air, 30 feet away. Yeah, be able to just hit you with like the spread of it. But you're going to see 8 multicolored rays of light just flash from the air. Each ray is a different color, and well, they have different powers and purposes. So I need Jarrell, Quinn, Boris, Paradil, and Dr. Dedu to
Who
make
is in my 30 feet?
everybody but Paradil, because he moved to maintain his stuff. He was moving towards where he was shooting. So
Everybody but Paradil is what?
gets the plus the bonuses from Jarrell,
Uh,
right? Because you said you moved 20 feet.
I just said I was just moving around aimlessly.
Oh, moving around aimlessly. Okay, no, fine. Then you get the bonus too. You're just moving aimlessly. You're just running in circles, essentially.
Back.
Yeah.
Serpentine.
What kind of save is it?
Zigs and zagging. It's going to be a dex save.
A deck save. Does Pregnard have to make that, or just Paradil?
Just Paradil. Dedu will, because he left you.
I am
Pregnant
going.
should be out of harm's way, though.
I think, yeah, you left him out of harm's way and then flew up to Boris. That was my understanding. That was my understanding of your intention there. You weren't just going to abandon him, like, in his weakened state. You were going to, like, get him to safe somewhere, like, and then fly up there. It's fine. I'm good with that.
Jeez.
So everyone's rolling for this, right?
Everyone's
and then
making a dex save and adding +5 from Jarrell's aura.
just an automatic +5.
Mhm.
Yeah, and whatever, on top of whatever, bonuses you'd have.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's some terrible rolls across
Oof.
the board.
Yeah,
Hold on.
I got big oof energy over here.
Even an advantage. You get
Even-
advantage from me.
Wait, I got advantage?
You get advantage against spells
Okay.
from Jarrell.
Okay.
Just
then-
Paradel, right?
No, everybody.
Oh, everybody. Oh,
Range.
we're
Okay.
rolling advantage here.
So
Oh, cool.
I'm now going to spend an indomitable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I also want to clarify something. So I have Elven accuracy, which means I can re-roll as long as I have advantage.
Elven
So I'm gonna
accuracy.
roll.
Reroll
Elven,
any
what did I
dice as long as you have advantage, or
No, it says whenever you have advantage on an attack roll using dexterity,
an attack roll.
intelligence.
An attack roll. This is not an attack roll you're making. You're making a saving throw.
Oh,
Trying to be more accurate with your saving throw, or I just
Sorry,
right.
I was defending against an attack. I'm sorry. Never
You
mind.
silly
All
Billy.
right, it's still a really good roll, so I'm fine.
I'm so pissed right now. So I rolled a 2, and then I rolled a 3, and then
With your
luckily,
indomitable roll.
yeah. Well, what I thought was my indomitable roll, and then John said, "Well, that I could just use that as my advantage."
Advantage,
roll."
and then use indomitable
so-
to re-roll the
Yep, and then I rolled another 2.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know that Paradil definitely failed. Quinn, how'd you do?
I guess I got a 12 from that, if that means anything.
It's cool.
I got a 24.
Cool. You also fail.
I knew it.
Boris.
I rolled a nat 20, so I got 37 once I finished adding all the stuff on.
Cool. And Jarrell. And do Jarrell first.
Yep. Jarrell got an 18 and Dedu got a 9, and neither of those are going to do it.
So Boris is the only one who passes here. But you will still take half as much of this effect, even if you have an ability that says you can't, because I will remind you, Larlock has an ability called Spell Mastery. Whenever Larlock casts a spell that allows the creature to take no damage on a successful save, the creature instead takes half damage but suffers no additional effects.
Get
Damn
ready,
it.
Fran.
Okay, so this spell is an attack spell, correct?
It is. I'm not targeting anybody. I'm targeting a 60. I'm making a 60-foot cone.
Wait, no.
Okay.
Not the Ion spell.
Okay.
All right.
This is a spell.
So I also I casted in the last session the multiple people spell. So
Okay.
I believe I can roll for that.
Yes. Roll the d20 for mirror image.
Okay, so if I get a
Oh, okay.
6 or higher, mirror image, that's what it was. I can remember the name of the spell.
Multiple people spell.
I rolled a 10, so it hits one of my.
That sounds good. So you would be if you and Boris are affected by a red ray of light. Paradil, it's crazy. I rolled two 2s and 2 7s. I'm supposed to roll a d8, and that determines which color you guys are affected by. I rolled 2 2s and 2 7s. So the 2s are orange, and the 7s are violet. So we'll resolve the oranges. You guys will be taking acid damage. So we get that going.
And that's me and Boris.
You and Boris. Boris will be
Okay.
taking half this much. It's going to be, that's a lot of low numbers.
Well, it just destroys one of my mirror images.
Yes. But
'Cause as
Boris
long
will
as you
be very
hit,
happy about this. So 27, so that's going to be 13 acid damage for you then, Boris. You take it half.
Excellent.
And then the indigo, or sorry, the violet light, Jarrell and Paradil are blinded and have to make a wisdom saving throw at the start of their next turns to end the blindness.
No damage though.
No damage. Just blind.
All right.
We have advantage on wisdom saves
That's good.
while within 30 feet of Jarrell.
Something else will happen if you fail the save against the blindness at the start of your turn.
Great.
So you're going to want to pass, is all I'm going to tell you.
How much damage did I take?
None.
Blind players.
You're just
Oh,
blind.
Just blinded. Okay.
And that will take us then to Jarrell's turn. Jarrell, we are skipping your turn because you have been befuddled. However, you may make the save against blindness. I would very much suggest you try your absolute hardest to pass this save.
Yeah, 20.
Wait,
Okay.
what technically does that mean again? That Jarrell is in the befuddled state?
He's cursed.
Oh, okay.
He is cursed
Got it.
and has to spend his turn doing nothing.
But I did roll a nat 20.
That's very good for you. The additional effect doesn't happen, and you are no longer blind. Congratulations.
Huzzah.
And we have reached the top of initiative. This was an action-packed episode. We have some undeath saves happening. We have lots of things going on in this combat. I have lots of notes again. I hope I didn't forget anything again. But we're going to have to
Paradiddle is
continue
running in
this.
circles.
Yes, Paradiddle is running in circles. I definitely will not forget that. But I think, as we typically do, right, with these long form combats, stuff like that, we're back at the top of initiative. We're going to call the episode for the evening. But if you like us, you can find us on the internet. We're on such places as Twitter and Instagram or all the other social medias. Just look for us, Hapless Heroes Podcast. Those social media pages, if you just blow some of the dust off of them, will have pinned posts that has an invite link to our Discord server, which is really where we spend the majority of our time socializing with you, our wonderful audience. We encourage you to join our community. It's totally free. We have many different discussion channels. You just pick whatever one suits your fancy. You talk about food, talk about cats, talk about these episodes in a spoiler tag channel. Whatever you want. Just come and be a part of our growing community. It's a really great time. We'd love to have you there. But if you really, really like us, we'd love it if you left a 5-star review on the podcast service of your choice. All those reviews, help us grow in the ranks, even if those reviews even are still a thing these days. But, we just want to read some kind words you say about us because it makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And if your podcast service doesn't let you do that, well, we have a 5-star channel on our Discord where you can say some nice things and we'll read it on the air and say some nice things right back to you. It's a great little thing. So do that. But now if you really, really, really like us, you can donate to our Patreon. It's just patreon.com/HaplessHeroes. We have a whole bunch of different rewards, behind the scenes audio, bloopers. We also have been recording these between two episodes where we just pick a topic and riff on it for however long. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been just a chaotic good time. So, we'd encourage you to check it out, see if it's worth, essentially the price of a cup of coffee a month. And,
It's mostly about food.
Yeah, or at least 50% of the episodes are about food.
We mostly talk about how food is good.
Mm-hmm. But there have been other discussions. But you'll just have to check it out, see if it's for you, and we'd love to have you part of that as well.
And if you like us, right now, you like us, Sally Field, and the whole deal, invent a new sport that uses an old iPod as the object ball. And have it be playing our podcast, and you get a point if you throw the iPod onto an upturned headphone jack that's attached to speakers that everybody can hear our podcast through.
Cool.
That's
I'm
it.
not even going to say that one's doable because I don't think.
It's just a hard sport. And actually, you know what? There might be a little funnel device and track
it down
involved, so it can guide it down onto that upturned headphone jack. There could be an apparatus. The difficulty of the sport is up to you, dear listener.
You play with a scoop.
Yeah, I made some very broad guidances in the design of the sport, and you can do with those what you may.
Cool.
I just hope you have a good time.
We do
and
too.
You feel fulfilled at the end of it, and you feel like you are bettering mankind through your efforts to make a stupid sport.
Okay.
Fran's distracted.
Well,
Fran,
no,
what are you
I'm
distracted by?
Not distracted. I'm just processing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and outro this cast because I don't really know what else to do here. So starting in my virtual right with John playing Lord Jarrell the Light, and sometimes Dr. Dedu.
Until next time.
Zach is Peridil and Pregnart.
I'm running in circles.
I'm saying messages toward someone.
Nicole is Boris the Butcher.
I'm pretty sure I can stab that blob.
Mike is Lord and Captain Quinn Southwind. And Dave as Vecna, but good,
But dead.
but
Makes me
dying?
laugh every time.
Question mark? Yeah, and I'm Francesco. I've been your host and DM. We'll see you next week. I love you. Bye.
So long, suckers.